1 second.
We're doing a countdown to the intro now.
Babies!
So our audio is totally live or not totally live?
It is live, sir.
It's totally live. Welcome, everybody. You know what I like about this game?
What game?
I like that it's a game. The game is talking about
Games. Awesome. Hey, peoples. Is anyone getting a link yet?
Some hardcore podcasting.
It is. It is. Can you guys hear that voice? That's my brother Paul Creech, who's coming to us from Houston, Texas. Also on the line tonight we have John Trammell from California. I believe he's in Oakland. Just kidding. Are you?
I'm close. I'm in Brisbane technically. San Francisco.
Nice. And you're in an Airbnb?
Yep.
So
Airbnb.
You're gonna trash
Rocking
it live?
I'm gonna trash this Airbnb live on the air.
I'm gonna mess with my mic
gosh.
live. Hey everybody. Next to me is Matthew Brown, and I'm Tony
Hey, guys.
Creech, and you're watching Citadel Uncut. It's a weekly show where we get a panel of Citadel authors and we do a forum-style review of topics of the week that each of us thought were important. It is pretty much the place to be on a Thursday night if you're on Facebook and happen to see us in your feed. And if you aren't watching like Orange is the New Black or something.
That's what Amy's doing upstairs.
Speaking of Orange is the New Black, I'd like to throw a shout out to our sponsor, the prison system.
Oh, my word.
Awkward.
Awkward family moments. So every week we each get a little bit of an opportunity to bring a topic forward, and we're about to move into that section. But before we do, I just wanted to say off the bat that if you're watching the show live, you can comment right in the comment section, and if you're watching it not live, you can also comment.
And you can do like all those cool little new reactions.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do have it so that swearing
the
gets hidden automatically because Facebook helps us with that.
Yeah.
So if you swear in our comments, don't be surprised if they disappear. They're still there, they're just hidden. I don't know if that makes you feel worse or better, and if we're jerks for trying to make it so our children, Annika, my 3-year-old, she likes watching the show and commenting, or she doesn't because she's 3. Choose your own adventure. So, Dustan's missing tonight.
He's
But
gone.
Dustan, I did want to mention at the beginning, Dustan has moved his interviews to an interview show, the name of which is what, by the way?
How did I get here or something like that,
How did
right?
I get here? That's right.
Is that
Because
it?
he talks with
Awesome.
artists, people that have come from here to there and are, like, so we talked to that guy from the Philosopher Kings and that other thing he did that's more popular. What was that?
Prozac?
Prozac? Prozac's more popular depending on where you are, where you park your boat. Anyway,
Really? I thought Prozac was like an antidepressant.
now it's both.
Not with two Z's and a K. Once you add two Z's and a K, it ceases to be an antidepressant and starts to be electronic music that makes you want to claw your eyes out.
Aww.
Oh my goodness.
Nice. I think Amber's watching Orange is the New Black in the background as well. It's weird.
That's what my wife's watching.
Wow. Weird. All 3 of our wives are watching a prison woman thing. Nice. Kind of cool.
And my wife is watching us right now. Same thing.
Similar thing because we're sponsored by the prison system. For-profit prisons in particular. I read this amazing article on for-profit prisons and I wanted to bring it up, but not as my topic. Kinda as just a little bit of a cocktail as we get going.
Is it a what?
An aperitif. It's an aperitif.
It's an aperitif, exactly. And
Can you
That's actually
tell
why
us
we-
just
Oh,
can
yeah,
you tell us
sure.
just a little bit about the for-profit prison system? Because this sounds fascinating.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it didn't start until like the 70s or 80s, and there was a journalist. I really should know who he was working for, but he'd been to Iraq in a prison for a while, and maybe not in a prison. He was just in Iraq. Anyway, he's like a guy willing to do crazy stuff, and he went and got a job. Being totally honest about who he was, not saying I'm doing a piece, but not lying about who he was. And he got a job working in the prison system, moved from LA to like Kentucky or something to work for the biggest for-profit prison in the U.S. And if you don't know this, the U.S., like, I think 40% of immigrants that are in holding before they're, like, kicked out of the country when they're caught by the migra, they go to, like, a jail, but that's almost 40% of those are run by for-profit people. The same company that runs these for-profit prisons, and some of them are federal, some of them are state. There's not tons of them out there, but there's a good enough percentage that's taken by these guys that they get money from the judicial system and they're for-profit. And he got a job as a prison guard, and he went through the training. He spent like 6 months there and reading, and it's like a book. It's a book-length article, and it's fascinating. He talks about training, the things that they say, and then you can see his mental, like, health and how it affects him. You can see it all shift over time as he's in the prison system, and as he admits to doing things and being like having just it changing who he was, being somebody who is kind of like naturally not like those classic border guards and prison guards you see in movies that are like all bad guys in movies. So it's absolutely fascinating. It was like a good Saturday read. It was like a little book. Loved it.
Interesting.
It does sound really interesting. I've got a number of friends who are in the correctional system here in California, and it's been just fascinating talking to them as they've gone through their training and entered into the prison system, and what it's been like for them as people of faith, trying to do that job, and what it means for them and how they interact with both the guards and the prisoners. It's been really, really fascinating talking to some of them.
Yeah.
So
it's
what's kind of interesting, kind of along the same lines, is you have companies that created for-profit prisons, but also counties and small municipalities have thought, hey, the federal system is kind of is full, and they don't want to build new prisons, and they send out federal prisons to be in for-profit prisons and county prisons when they have room. So counties have spent tons of money building these huge prisons in order to absorb this federal population. And the idea is that the county would actually make money on the deal.
Yep.
But a lot of these prisons are empty because so many of these municipalities did this. And so you have small towns that have built, $50, $100 million jails with on bond money, and they're not making enough to make the payments on it. And it's obviously it's having a negative effect because they got to make those bond payments instead of using that tax money for other services that counties generally provide, which is the majority of your interaction with government is county and local government, at least in the United States. I don't know up in Canada, but so
what's wild is that when you're for profit, there's certain things you do for money, and so there's all he went in just to see what it was like, but it turned into a major expose, and this prison was extremely understaffed. I mean, he actually was there when there was a prison break. They had removed all the guards from the guard towers and just set up cameras, and a guy literally just hopped the fence and left.
Well, you'd be surprised in many federal prisons that are federally run. The lowest security people have no fence around them at all. They're in a barracks kind of thing, and they can wander off. Now, if they do,
it's kind of like how it is with my house and my marriage kind of thing. It's there's no fence. I can wander off, but
if you do, you're in some trouble. But
it's a whole new felony, and your time can get really extended and get popped up to minimum security. So you kind of want to be in those camps. So it was weird.
This is less like the camp. This is more just understaffed. When all the prisoners are constantly being like, "You guys need to get more guards in here." That's what kind of crazy prison is that? That's crazy.
That's anyway, for profit.
I really should have brought up the article beforehand, but I changed my iCloud password, and I need to go to all my computers and verify my existence again, because it's everything.
So I'm gonna put a link in the comments here, probably not till the end of the show, for a podcast where a gentleman wrote a book about why gangs took over prisons and what kind of communities they formed. And it's kind of the whole basis is that California, Texas had so many prisoners, they created these super prisons. And once prisoners couldn't know each other intimately, the gangs and formed along usually along racial lines, and it was a shortcut to create an enforcement mechanism to get people to keep their promises, and how these kind of civilization worked out with complex constitutions and different ways of resolving conflict that aren't necessarily all violent, and very, very interesting about how we created these mega gangs within the prison system by making big jails. And so I'll put a link to that podcast in the comments.
Yeah,
section.
because in his article, some of the prisoners he gets to know that have been to other prisons, they really hate that prison. But one of the things they talk about is that it's safer in the bigger prisons where they're controlled by gangs because there's more order. And in that prison, they had just understaffed it to milk it for money that so badly that there's more chaos. There's just stabbings all the time. There wasn't enough infrastructure for there to be gangs to do the enforcing, which is weird.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Okay.
So do we want to start on topics or?
Show took a very early and very dark turn.
We do that sometimes. This is like a few of our shows. We just dive into something super serious.
Oh my gosh.
Really deep right away.
So let's talk about Dallas before we move on. Just kidding. So let's start with Matt.
Oh my goodness. No. I have not prepared anything.
I didn't prepare what I just talked about. And that wasn't even a topic. So
let me go first.
Okay, let's let Paul go first because I want to hear about the new Ghostbusters TV show.
Yeah, so actually what I have to talk about is kind of an announcement that I'm hijacking all of you, and we are going to play a Citadel Fantasy Football League.
Yes.
And I think it's more fun for guys like Destin and Matt who may not follow American football to have to get to draft these teams and start their lineups. And I'm really hoping that some of our listeners, if you want to participate, put it in the comments and I'll send you the information to join our team. And
let's do it.
I think it'll be a fun thing. And are
we using the NFL app, the official, or are we using Yahoo?
Yeah. We're gonna use the NFL app.
Please not Yahoo.
Were you Paul? Did you play with me last year on the Yahoo?
Yeah,
you were on our team, right?
We played Yahoo last year.
Okay.
But the NFL had better stuff. Anyway.
You know what the best part's gonna be is that I'm gonna beat all of you.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping like Dustin.
I don't think you will actually. I don't think you'll show up for the draft, much less beat us.
I want somebody to pick a team just based on creative names, just full of like the best name position, and then I bet that team wins. But like something, that's what I'm kind of hoping happens.
I chose my quarterback as Deshante Cinderella, and it's just like the third string for the Rams or something like that.
It worked for the Warriors. That's how they put their team together.
Oh my goodness!
Doesn't win two finals in a row, but it does get you 1 out of 2.
Yeah, and which is going to 2 finals consecutively is a huge thing anyway. So, but the other thing I want to talk about is, did anybody see that Jared Hayne, who's an Australian rugby player who was, he's an international man of the year, rugby and all that good stuff, played for Fiji, and he came to the 49ers, spent a year with us, didn't get to play a lot, and then left during training camp this year to go back to Fiji to be on the Olympic team, and he didn't make the final team of Fiji's rugby sevens.
You're joking.
No.
He leaves an NFL contract in a major sports team.
Okay, let's not talk about sports because our viewership is plummeting.
It's all right.
I was gonna say sports.
Guys, it's a forum.
So for people who watch the 49ers, and that was a big deal and a big disappointment, is that Jared Hayne left to do that. So
huge.
So it's really, really sad to hear he didn't make that team.
Well, maybe he'll get a TV show like Tebow.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness, those commercials for Tebow's home fixing show are the worst commercials.
But you remember them, so maybe they're the best.
Commercials or TV, So I don't see them, except I do see it at the gym, and I see that there's TVs running, and I said Tebow, and I thought, what the heck? And I was like, he's
The
home free or
worst
something.
commercials.
Are
Oh
they
my
really bad?
goodness.
Could you give us an impression? So just let people know what they are.
Okay, so Tebow has taken on this this personality, which is so interesting because I'm not a sports guy, so I don't know him except for I know that he was hot for a second, really hot in college, likes to talk about John 3:16, and then utterly failed in the professional league, right?
See, I would disagree with that. I think everybody hated him, but he did really well. Says me.
He personally performed amazing, but when he started, he won, and he retarded strength the Broncos through the playoffs, and so. So he actually played really well. He just didn't get a lot of chances.
More things that I have absolutely.
But that is the narrative.
On the show, they seem to have created this character for him that's a total tool. Like he's just the classic, like good-looking frat boy jerk, and
Excuse me.
No, seriously.
Hey, Paul is a frat boy jerk.
Paul is the good-looking frat boy jerk.
You know what else is
right?
like? Give me a second here, guys. You know what else is like a really good sport? Pokemon Go. Has anyone played here? Do any of you?
Leave it for later in the show.
You're just gonna steal. You're gonna serve up some dry pie and steal something.
Paul, you have 30 seconds to wrap up your segment. Give it to us.
Okay, so I think I'm done. I hit everything I wanted to hit. So put in the comments if you want to play fantasy football against us. The gauntlet has been thrown down, and see if you can keep up. So, and there'll be a prize. I haven't decided what it is, but it'll be nice.
I like it.
It's
probably going to be.
I don't even know how fantasy
John
football
Trammell.
even slightly works.
So you're gonna learn. You're so lucky.
It's fun. You know what? Awesome. You're going to be like going into the sports bar. Never mind. That's all.
Somebody hand me a Pilsner and some chicken wings. It's time to yell at some padded men.
My gosh.
Hey guys. All right, John
Trammell.
Should we just go into Pokemon Go? We should do it because
go. Amber's got a drink.
Because
Go.
Josh
Amber,
is on.
go get that extra glass
Amber,
of wine.
you go get that. Yeah. You pause.
Don't do it.
Orange is the New Black. Get that extra glass of wine and sit down because we're going to Pokemon Go.
Yeah, just start alcoholing
This is the best part.
This is the best part. This is the best part of the show.
This is not the time for you guys to get up and go find your extra glass of wine. Let me tell you, this is the time for you to sit down and really lean into this because this is going to be fun. How many? Okay, sound off. Matt, are you playing Pokemon Go?
I am a little bit.
Okay,
just to
Tony.
see what the hype is.
Yes, I'm playing, and let me see because, like, you just reminded me that while you're doing this, I'm gonna play Pokemon Go, and maybe I'll catch something because I'm not very high leveled like you are, John.
Are you playing Pokemon Go?
No.
In the comments, please tell us if you're playing Pokemon Go or not, and don't lie because seriously, there are millions of us out there playing. I'm playing. I'm not an avid Pokemoner. I didn't collect the cards.
Josh Drake is almost level 12. Get out.
I didn't collect the cards. I didn't play the Nintendo games or anything. But I did watch the cartoon and I used to draw them. Anyway, but Pokemon Go is this huge phenomenon right now, and I downloaded the app mostly so I could see what in the world was going on with this because it was becoming a cultural phenomenon by Monday. So I'm just going to do a quick roundup of a bunch of different headlines of things that are going on in the Pokemon Go world.
Hold on.
So
There's literally a Pokemon right now that I'm going to get in the studio.
Oh my gosh.
This is happening.
Can you hold it up to the camera there, Tony?
I'm catching
Oh my goodness.
Hold on.
Oh.
So I'm going to hold down.
What kind is it?
Dang it. Yes!
He got it. Will it stay?
Yeah,
now? Will it stay?
See?
You might break
see
out
world?
of Pokeball.
Do you see? You can see it in the little ball there.
You got it!
Woo!
Yeah.
Live! As we're talking about it, I caught. It was a something. Hold on. It's going into my Pokedex. And it looks like a fox and Abra. I'd like to see the Kadabra. This is the
Got an Abra.
There
Okay.
you go. Boom. Done.
So-
You know where they are. They're in my basement.
My topic. So what I'm doing is a roundup of Pokemon headlines here. So just some quick facts for you here. By Monday, today's Thursday, but I prepared for this earlier. By Monday, Pokemon Go had already surpassed more than 7.5 million downloads. By Monday, that's less than a week. 60% of those users are playing daily. The numbers are telling us that. Those users are playing on average 43 minutes and 23 seconds per day. That's on average for millions of people. So imagine, because some people are just opening it up, for a few seconds, but the people that means there are people playing for hours a day. Pokemon Go is generating an estimated $1.6 million per day on iOS alone in in-app purchases. The game's free, but there are in-app purchases where you can buy items and coins in order to upgrade yourself and your Pokemon faster. $1.6 million per day on iOS alone. And the numbers are showing us that there are actually more players on Android devices, but they're not releasing their numbers. Nintendo, who owns only 30% of the rights to Pokemon, fun fact, and those rights are in the form of character copyrights. Nintendo stock rose 24.52% on Monday.
They gained like $7 billion in value or something.
Increasing the company's value by $7 billion. It was their best day in the stock market since 1983.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo hasn't been worth very much lately. I mean, Nintendo has kind of gone... I don't want to get into my anti-Nintendo rant right now. I love Nintendo, but they've just been failing, so this is crazy.
In perspective, though, this is a game that they didn't even release on a system that they don't own, and it jacked their stocks up $7 billion and more than any other system that they've released since the original Nintendo hit the United States. That's just ridiculous. So the game,
Crazy.
The game utilizing the graphics processor, GPS, cellular radio, and the camera, plus a bright screen needed to see outdoors. Pokemon Go is a battery killer. The website CNET tested the battery use at 15% utilization for 30 minutes of play. So the game will use 15% of your battery in 30 minutes. Compare that to 5 minutes for 30 minutes of Facebook stalking and 0% for 30 minutes of Spotify binging.
But before I go to bed, I really like just counting up.
Oh, looks like your topic is over, John.
Much of my topic was taken up by Tony's stupid Abra.
Well, you should have talked through it.
Is it more important to talk about life or to live it? I'm living it right here, right now. I'm living Pokemon. You're talking about really facts and figures.
It's not Pokemon. That Pokemon's not that really exciting. What's exciting is what comes next. The first-person shooter game that everyone's gonna be walking around playing through the streets. The entertainment that we're gonna be able to add through there. So entertainment companies are gonna jump in there and make some adult entertainment on using the same technology. It's gonna get crazy. It's the next step is what I'm excited for. So people are going to play off this idea and apply it to things we're not even thinking about, and that'll be exciting.
This is by far the most successful mobile app ever. It was downloaded more times on the first day than Tinder was.
What's that?
I don't know. I just know the website said it.
So, wait a minute. You're saying this is the most popular app ever?
It in terms of speed and saturation,
like,
yes.
Not game ever because of like games like Call of Duty, but like app on that and the mobile app.
Mobile application. It's in terms of speed of saturation. It's by far the most popular app ever.
So let me just cut us off right here and jump into my topic because I think it's important now because there's a lot of people out there that aren't nerds and they don't care about this at all. And they're like, I hate that you're talking about this. And so my topic is going to be Pokemon as well. And the reason why is because if you're out there and you don't know what the heck this is or what's going on, you're who I want to talk to. You're who this segment is about because the thing is, I did not ever get into Pokemon. Maybe did little Bubba get, or my little baby brother Paul, did he get into this?
I thought he was like into magic. I don't even know, man. It was
Magic the Gathering.
You were a magician.
But see, we were not. I was like, we did not get into
magician.
these kinds of things. Like, I was not a nerd growing up. I became a nerd as an adult. I was not a nerd. Was not into this kind of thing. I was like, no.
Gosh.
But, and people have posted the most, like, you have to be a loser if you think Chris Holian or something. He said it was like, you have to be a loser to not have a life to be playing this game. And it's like, well, you could say that about watching a football game. You can say that about any hobby that is like voluntary, that you actually don't
I've
need.
also seen a lot of people posting that like only kids play it, but like I literally have not seen one kid
I've not seen
that
any
has
kids play.
played this game. It's all
Okay, so-
adults.
I saw two at the park as I drove by today. These really chubby kids by themselves next to trees
They're
in a
walking.
park.
Celebrate.
It's like 100 degrees in Houston right now. It's like 100% humidity. This is the awfulest
Yeah,
time
like
of year. And
that-
they're
you
like
know,
these
part of
chubby
this is
kids
a huge
outside.
deal. Part of this is
Good
just a
for
huge deal
them.
because
More power to them. So I'm in San Francisco right now, which is a bit unusual for me. Even though I live close, I don't come here often. But driving around at dusk around here is crazy because it looks like The Walking Dead. People are just out slowly roaming the streets. Children are out in parks and parents are out walking with kids. I seriously doubt that there's this much regular outdoor activity on a normal day. I actually drove by some like young adults who were walking around with their phones out and yelled, "There's no Pokemon here!" And they looked up and laughed because I called it. They were Pokemon hunting.
it's funny. You can look up and see funny pictures of people like Pokemon hunting everywhere. Like, people are posting stuff in airports of like all the guys, like all the airport personnel on the tarmac, all walking around trying to catch Pokemon. And if you can't, like, I just caught a Pokemon. Because the Pokemon is here, Matt can catch the same one at the same space. It's not like I take it and Matt can't get it. We can all get that Pokemon if we're in the same room. So groups of people can Pokemon hunt together. Just throwing that out there. But I wanted to get into why this is such a big deal. This is such a big deal because AR, or augmented reality, there's VR, and VR, virtual reality is I put on a headset and I'm in virtual reality and it's crazy. Augmented reality is we augment actual reality.
Superimposes it, yeah.
Yeah, we put a layer on top. And you don't need to be looking at your phone. Most of the time you're doing Pokemon Go, you just hold it and it will buzz and let you know there's a Pokemon near. And then it switches into AR mode, and then you can see it. And if you move your phone, you can see it's right here, and it's not over here and over here. And you see the Pokemon, and it's overlaid on top of reality. And so
I have toggled AR off on mine.
It's a game where you can do AR, and it's it's like we've known this technology has been out there. Google has a game, Ingress, that uses
I've
some
played
of that
one. Yep.
And there's a number of games that have played around with it. A lot of different things have played around with it, but none of them have been like mass culture popular.
Yeah.
And if because this is mass culture popular, it means that it just changed everybody's mindset, and now there can be another game, like John was saying, a first-person shooter or something that's going to use the same thing because everybody's learned it because of Pokemon.
How do you think they did that from a marketing perspective?
I think Nintendo not having any of their
Pokemon.
characters on iOS, that's what it was. You needed
Was it
something so
just
big.
that?
If this was Super Mario, it would have been just as big. Pokemon is huge, and all the stuff that's been on there has been like not necessarily legal. And that's besides the point how weird how this. There's a lot of other nerd stuff connected to this. Like, a guy at Google started this company, and Google owns a lot of it. So
Yeah.
it's actually kind of a Google app, maybe more than Nintendo, or at least like
Interesting.
largely. They're a lot of the big funders, and that's why I can play it in Canada,
it's at
even though
least
it's not
built
released
off
here.
of Google skeleton.
Yeah, so I can play it in Canada because they're not like finding out what's important in your neighborhood. They're just scraping the Google database and grabbing
Yeah.
it apart. And because it's like,
It's
hey,
made,
Pokemon
it's
are
made by
apart.
the same.
Did you hear about the guy who lives in an old church and like people blocked his driveway? They're coming to his front door. His house was like a gym because it used to be a church like 80 years ago.
So it's in the database?
So the database still has it as a church, and so like he couldn't get out of his driveway, and he was people were like just camped out in front of his house in cars and on all like trying to come onto his property.
Time to open a lemonade stand.
That's
Well,
what I'm
it's
saying.
like, yeah, it's actually been super helpful for a lot of businesses. I mean, there's lots of stories. I know, John, you're getting into your stories. And there's,
Yeah.
a bunch of stories about businesses that their sales, everything has gone up because people are catching Pokemon. Like Joe's Place, a youth center, a lot of us have been involved in and where I'm a board member. Joe's Place is a Pokestop, and it should be. And so that's great for us. It's designed for
businesses
people to
are trying to get in on that, right? They're trying to get in to be stopped so that to drive customers, right?
There's actually TechCrunch has reported that Pokemon Go will soon be getting ads in the form of sponsored locations.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's good. That's a good monetization scheme.
Huh.
Yep.
That's excellent. And John, did you see that article about how the National Park Service is getting into Pokemon and encouraging people to come play Pokemon Go?
That's brilliant.
Because,
no, I didn't see that one.
It's suddenly boosting national park visits. People are out hiking and stuff to find Pokemon.
Wow.
And
that's crazy, especially since national parks have been already experiencing huge volumes to where they're having to figure out how to like parcel it out anyway.
The hipsters are really enjoying the hiking these days.
Yeah, so this will just add something else to it. Do you guys see the 2 Marines that stopped the murder suspect because they're out wandering around playing Pokemon Go?
Right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, I did.
Hey, John, was one of the headlines you wanted to talk about? The murders and stuff, or the attacks?
Yeah, a couple of the deaths, like the fact that just today in Encinitas, California, 2 men were seriously injured when they fell from a cliff trying to catch nearby Pokemon. They climbed over an embankment and onto some bluffs, and the bluffs collapsed underneath them because they weren't supposed to be standing there. They fell like 50 and 100 feet and are in like trauma centers right now.
And the thing is they didn't like you don't have to. Like when there's a Pokemon there, like it's static on your screen. You don't actually have to move closer to
Chase it down. No, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
If it's a Pokestop and it's like hanging in some dangerous spot, then don't go there. But like if it's a Pokemon you're trying to catch, you don't actually have to get closer to it once it's on your screen, it's there. It's just like John, you can turn off AR and be safer.
Right.
But in terms of safety, some people, because the game got so popular and became a cultural phenomenon in like a day, some people were targeting Pokemon users because I guess you can see other users' locations, or like one of the ways
not
you
exactly
get,
what you
not
do
exactly
is
like that. You can, if you're a user, you can get something called a lure to lure Pokemon to you. And obviously,
or like the
you're by your
incense
lure
or what?
because you're trying to get this Pokemon. And so these people, like in an abandoned parking lot, are like using a lure, and these guys are waiting for them and searching for people that are Pokemon hunting in these locations that are, let's say, not well lit, not a safe place to be.
Oh my goodness!
And then they're robbing them. They caught a couple of guys that were just doing that systematically.
Yep. So there was also the guy in upstate New York who drove his car off the road and wrapped it around a tree because he was playing while he was driving. He totally admitted to it.
So bad.
Tony,
have you played another headline I wanted
Tony?
to talk about this week, where a woman was praying and crashed into a house because she closed her eyes while praying and driving. Did you guys see that headline? Praying and driving, she closed her eyes.
Tony,
drove into a house.
Tony, it doesn't.
Tried to back out and leave and got her car stuck after smashing into somebody's house.
Tony, it doesn't work if you don't close your eyes and cross your hand. Like,
I know. Tell me about it.
She was praying for traveling mercies. Gotta pray for the traveling mercies.
I just imagine her with her eyes closed. Sweet mercies fall from heaven. And then, like a jerk, basically it was an attempt to hit and run because she was trying to get out of there. And luckily her car got stuck, so she got caught. Smashed into somebody's house. Anyway, it's on Reddit, which is just as good as Pokemon Go, if not a million times better. It has to be part of your daily routine.
No Reddit. No Reddit.
Reddit.
All Reddit all the time.
Reddit.
Don't work. Go on Reddit. Don't work. Why are you watching our show?
Lord.
Have Reddit open in a second window.
I have one more quick headline if I can share it before we move on.
Yeah.
I wanted this to happen from day one because another thing that the game drains besides your battery is data. It uses up a lot of data because everything is GPS located and based on precise GPS locations. And so that's a lot of data being sent back and forth. And just today, T-Mobile, the United States telecom who has become known for disrupting the mobile status quo and who I happen to be a user of, announced today that they will start providing Pokemon Go players with free data while using the game nationwide.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Not my nation.
starting next Tuesday, and they're also giving away a whole bunch of other freebies that they're saying are like for your benefit while you're out hunting Pokemon, like a free Frosty at Wendy's and discounts on battery packs and stuff like that.
I literally today on a website
They're gonna give you a car wash.
I saw ads for Pokemon accessories, Pokemon Go accessories. Get this backpack and a water bottle to use while you're using Pokemon Go, and they were just like huge eye roll. It has to stop somewhere. But that's you know.
I want to hear something from our Facebook commenters about this. What sorts of things have you seen, and what have you experienced? Have you purchased any accessories or a battery pack? Has anybody gotten themselves a Mophie so that they can do better?
I have
Pokemon?
a Mophie, but I do not use it for Pokemon because I spend all of like 2-3 minutes a day on Pokemon, if that.
As a rule.
Yeah, I don't find it that interesting.
Josh Drake says the Fairfield Police in California, they sponsored a Pokemon Go thing. I haven't seen that. But I did see, and this is probably the biggest headline, I think the biggest headline in Pokemon Go, besides just that name being everywhere to try to get some news eyes on you, because it's like, hey, news, this is news, listen to our news channel too, is that somebody, is it a young girl or a young kid found a dead body playing Pokemon Go, a body that had like Stand By Me kind of thing. A body had like been in the river. Police didn't suspect any foul play. Somebody had maybe fallen in the river. They had died somehow, and then the kid came across it playing Pokemon Go. So, but it's better than a psychic to find dead bodies.
I just want to tell so many dark jokes right now.
More. Moving on then.
Well, I am starting a show in a few weeks here that's all about weird and odd things.
Wait, is this your topic now?
Well, it could be.
I did the classic thing where I forget to set the timer on my show.
Yeah.
It's because I'm so excited.
Oh, gracious. Yeah. Because you just want more time.
No, that doesn't sound like me.
Come on, Tony. Anyway, so I showed this same video last week, but I'm deciding that it's a good enough video to show again this week. And for our viewers that are listening to us on the podcast, featured on iTunes or on SoundCloud, this is of a wedding where they hired a questionable trumpet player.
Trumpetist?
Yeah.
Trumpetist?
Yeah.
Trumpetist.
And
I mean, why does a person hire a trumpet? Just a trumpet, not a whole band.
Yeah.
No singers, just a trumpet. Like there's something already at the outset. There's something wrong with this.
Taps,
You've
man.
just
All
got the
for
trumpet.
taps.
Amber, if you're still
Ska.
watching, you'll
Is
love
Ska
this
gonna come
video.
back?
Ska should come back.
All right, we'll play it here. Just give me a moment. John.
Well, as far as trumpets go, it's a fair trumpet, I suppose.
That sounds like
No,
me
I
playing
want
trumpet.
to hire that guy. I
Give me
think I want to
$20
know.
and
I
a
want his
chance.
business card. I want him to come to my bar mitzvah.
He probably will. He probably will get booked for being bad, just like that song Friday got like big sales.
It's so awful. It's just like, who made that decision?
So your show is going to be playing the world fun videos?
Fun videos. We will do recreations and create viral videos.
Ooh.
We will do random stuff.
So can we do a recreation where I play the trumpet at somebody's wedding? Not even
Oh my
invited?
goodness, yes.
He's just like,
like a bad version of that Maroon 5 music video where they take down the curtain and instead of Maroon 5, it's you and a trumpet.
pretty much.
Just play it like all the way through the video and
Or
sub
like
Tony.
a mariachi band, just like the Three Amigos, and then like it's Tony, John, and Matt.
And nothing but trumpets and tidy waddies killing it.
Mickey's saying somebody's forgetting to breathe in between notes.
So Matt, you're doing a show. What's the format's going to be? Facebook Live or what's the?
It will be a variety between the two. So there will be segments of the live show that will be pre-recorded, but most of it will be live.
Yeah, and so you're gonna play odd stuff that people have to see and react to, right?
There will be a large number of costumes.
Whoa.
And
You don't know how excited I am
what
for the
time
show.
format are you thinking of? Half hour,
it
15
will be
minutes?
very short. It will be like under 10 minutes each week.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said.
There will be a lot of makeup and a lot of costumes. It's
Sorry.
like Roger the Alien meets Citadel reality television.
I'm interested. You've piqued my interest.
Excellent.
I apologize in
kinda my-
advance.
This sounds like a legitimate show that all the kids have to watch.
That's kind of right into my fetish, so you could just run away with that and give me some ideas.
Oh, I'll come visit you, Paul.
Oh man.
You promise?
Oh my gosh. This is escalating.
So this it's gonna be a fun
I'm
new show. I'm
speechless.
super excited. Hey, Preston Puteau is watching. Preston,
When does your
Miss you,
new
Matt.
show begin, Matt?
I have not set a date yet. I have begun filming though, and
Excellent.
one of the first videos are where I get into some large amount of makeup and people react in a public environment.
I saw just the slightest clip, and I almost lost everything. It was like we were in a restaurant too, and he showed it to me, and I'm lucky I got out of there. Oh, all right.
I'm good at keeping in time, right,
Excellent,
Tony?
Excellent 5 minutes. It's
Yeah.
now. That's everybody.
That is everyone.
So now we move on to the section of the show where we talk about Pokemon again. Just kidding.
It is not like RuPaul's Drag Race, Mickey, but it does have a segment that is similar to RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
But I'm not always the person featured in it.
So in a way, you can do reaction videos, and then people can send in their comments reaction videos to your show.
So then you react to the react.
Like he hasn't put out the name yet, and I'm pushing for a couple of names.
You're not allowed to say any of them yet.
And if you're thinking this show sounds like something, feel free to comment.
Yeah, help me out
name.
with the title.
Or
You probably won't get any suggestions that are actually taken, but
it's probably gonna happen. Oh my gosh, he just you have got to see this show. Oh my goodness. Pause that and look at it blurry. It's so scary.
it's awful.
It is not something to show your children before bed.
It is. Yeah. It is truly horrifying.
It is perfect. I'm excited.
I'm
But we started.
completely lost right now.
I showed him. Sorry, John. To our podcast listeners, I showed him a quick little still shot
On his
of
phone.
one of the video clips that has already been pre-filmed.
This is
Okay.
he's not only showing stuff from around the internet. We're gonna make stuff.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this is Matt's thing. If I get in it, it's only because I want my career to go nowhere.
Oh,
'Cause
Mickey,
I'm so
there should
tempted
be
to-
a sneak peek coming in a couple of weeks there. So
Well, you can't put it off weeks now that you've done this whole thing. Now everyone's like, I want to see what's there. You got to.
I know.
you'll have to
Holy
wait.
Jesus.
It will be worth the wait, though. I can guarantee that.
If we could maybe next week we'll show a clip. Maybe not. Probably
I
not.
guess we're just gonna have to play a lot of Pokemon Go between. Actually, my wife threatened divorce if I downloaded Pokemon Go.
Oh really?
She was like, "Yeah, absolutely," and I hadn't downloaded
Change the
it.
passcode to your
don't
phone, my
intend
friend.
to. I got it. It's password protected over here. What have you not?
So, hold on. I'm just checking the screen. Okay, we're good. No Pokemon around. Anyway, on with the show. So, did you guys You guys haven't been paying attention to the news, have you? Because there's it's been pretty
don't
crazy.
talk.
Maybe we should talk about the
No,
news.
it's not.
Which aspects of the news? Serious aspects or quirky aspects?
Let's not go to the serious aspects. It's better to just go into like fun and pop culture.
Yeah,
And
here's a
final
fun
thoughts.
thing. It's been raining way too much here.
Final thoughts.
Is it flooding in Moose Jaw?
It's flash flood warning today, but I mean it's been a really rainy summer, and if we want the show to break down to get some serious boringness, here's something we can. Here's my final thought, and you guys can go around. So John, do you have any lyrics ready for us?
Yeah.
The new Apple Music has lyrics, so if you're running the beta, you can do that. Anyway,
I'm not, and I don't use Apple Music.
I know that's why I wanted to do that. Say that to you. Oh, don't do that. Sick. Point being, today I had a couple of music videos that just happened from our Creech League little company. We had some music videos go live today that happen to both go live, and they happen to both have Megan Nash in them, which is awesome because she is amazing. And one was a music video, standalone music video of her, and one was a performance video of Andino's Sons, a Chilean band. We're going to get them in here sometime, at least one of them, maybe all of them, todos, and talk about stuff, maybe show the video. We can't show Megan's video right now because Exclaim Music, some Canadian
Exclaim!
site, apparently it's a big deal in Canada. It has like the site has the rights to it right now, so we can't do that. But you can view it.
On Exclaim.
.ca
Somewhere.
So, that's pretty exciting. A lot of fun stuff there happening. My final thought is, I was gonna try to think of something that was also pitching those videos I just did, but I can't think of an actual wrap up. So, my final thought is, I'm tired. I'm really tired. Having kids is hard.
Yeah.
Life is hard. Eat your Wheaties.
So my final thought is about one of the cool aspects of having kids is that you get to buy them gifts, but they're really for you. So my boy's been getting Legos, but today my final thought is about the NES that Nintendo has announced today. They're going to release like a palm-sized version of the old NES game. It's going to come preloaded with 30 of your favorite games from 1983. Me and Tony actually got a Nintendo in 1983, and it lasted for years. And we're in love with it. So in November they're going to release these things, and my son is going to get one. And I think that means that since he's 4, I'm gonna have to like kind of show him how to play, and I'm really excited about that. So Nintendo gets 2 wins this week, and
So
pretty stuck with this one.
Nintendo stock rose 25%, valued an extra added a $7 billion to the valuation, and they decided to celebrate by spending a whole lot of money on tiny Nintendos.
Well, see, this is like the reason why I think I agree with the stock going up is that it's a change. It's a dramatic change in quality. It just, it's being like Nintendo has such tight control over their platform, and they want to control the hardware and the software part of the games, and they have these titles as they sell hardware, Nintendos, because of the games that are on them, because you can't buy them anywhere else. Like this little Nintendo coming out.
Interesting.
People are buying it not because it's some little Nintendo hardware. They're buying the games, the chance to play them.
Do you remember like a couple of years ago when they announced that they were going to start releasing Nintendo titles on iOS, and then they completely backed out of that?
Well, no, they didn't back. They just said we're going to do new things, and everybody thought no. So they clarified by saying we didn't say we were putting Super Mario Brothers on there. We just said we're doing games on there, but they're probably going to be totally new games and not necessarily our old games. We're not porting anything, and then everybody's like, no. And this having a large property like Pokemon land on iOS is like a dramatic change in strategy by Nintendo, because they've made money by not letting anybody else license their characters. They make money because you love one of their games like Zelda. You have to buy a Nintendo. Not necessarily Zelda. But you know what I'm saying.
My final thought. We are now in week
loves games?
10. We are now in month 10 of a road blockade in Moose Jaw on Manitoba Expressway. It's still like they're doing construction about 2 times a week now, if we're lucky.
I've never seen. I know. Okay, twice I've seen people actually working, but the cones are still up, making everybody drive.
It's because
slowly,
they don't
ruining
have
the city.
any storage place. And I will bring this up until they actually fix it. They're beginning more and more construction projects, and I think it's because it's an election year, and so they're
because they haven't done anything, and so they're spending a bunch of little money doing absolutely nothing, fixing roads that they're going to tear up in a few months, just to do anything. So it looks like they didn't drop the ball like they have.
It's
Not that I have a strong opinion about it. I don't. I love everybody.
Awesome, John Trammell. Did you want to take us away?
Yeah, sure. So a couple of final thoughts piggybacking off the Pokemon thing. I think that there's a lot, as exciting as the discussion about augmented reality and a new era of mobile gaming might be. I think that there are some pretty serious discussions that need to happen based on the phenomenon that is Pokemon Go. Things like addiction and self-interruption and a culture of addiction. Pokemon is an addiction. It hits the pleasure centers of the brain and rewards us with dopamine hits in the same way that channel surfing and Facebook scrolling and porn, all those different things, it's addictive in the same way. There are discussions that need to happen about the long-term and habit-forming effects of the game, and questions about presence, being present in the moment, tech dependency, distractibility, and as I said before, self-interruption. Pokemon Go is merely an extension and perhaps a multiplication of what David Dark calls a form of systemic dysfunction unique to our age. But that conversation can wait for another time. Right now, I have a Blastoise to catch, and I'll end us with this. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide, each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, I wanna be the very best, the best that ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. Am I out? Can I stop now, please?
You're totally out.